On today's episode of Watch JR Go, we are here in the 2025 Hyundai Santa Cruz XRT. And if you're wondering what XRT means, it means we're going off-road. What is going on, guys? I am Watch JR Go, and like I said, today we're here in the brand new Santa Cruz XRT, which actually stands for Extreme Rough Terrain, not we're going off-road. But for the most part, if you're in this, you're ready to go off-road, and that is exactly what we're doing. So we're here on a ranch out in California, and I am unbelievably excited about this. I've actually already done this loop one time, and I was mind blown by how this thing handled. I wasn't even planning on making this video, but it's so good that I have to do it for you guys. So we are in sport mode. We've got hill descent control turned on. We do not have the differential lock turned on. And I'm gonna just start out by taking you guys out on a drive and talking you through this. So here is where we're starting. Let's flip this thing around and get busy. Here we go. So they've got a route laid out for us here so we don't get lost, because this is actually a huge ranch with a lot of terrain. An incredible vertical climb and some incredible descents where you actually get to let this thing do its magic. So starting out here, we've got a nice little entryway that's a little rough and kind of throws the car around, but this thing absolutely soaks it up. There's no obnoxious body roll, anything like that. If you're doing this in a full-size truck, you're probably going to feel it. You're gonna feel it in your back. In the Santa Cruz, you're not gonna feel it. So we're starting out right here with a big climb. You know what? I wonder, first we're gonna come to a stop to make it difficult. And second, let's go home and see, is there any off-road? I don't think there is. We don't have any like off-road special menus here. You guys have seen these menus before many times. It is the new Hyundai infotainment and it's incredibly good. Look at that, it brings the CarPlay album art over onto the main screen if you want. So that's really nice. Pretty standard Hyundai cockpit here because this is based on the Tucson. Oh, look at that. I am not on the brake. Auto hold's not turned on. Hill start control just took over. Look at that, I just added throttle and it didn't roll back 1 inch once you let off the brake. That's cool. I'm gonna show you guys this again. You can see there's a rise right here. I mean, I'm on an incredible incline. If you look behind me, it might, I mean, it's way down. This is a pretty steep hill. Okay, I'm setting on the brake, let go. If you wait, after about 3 seconds there, it finally lets go of the brake for you, but brake and then gas, and it automatically lets off the brake and takes off. So that's really cool. You know, you want a new school off-roading experience, this thing really does do a lot of magic to make it easy. Off-roading in sport mode's pretty funny, because if you want a lot of power, you get a lot of power. Now, I'm not actually sure what engine's in this, but it's not a hybrid, so if I had to guess, it's the 2.5 liter SmartStream GDI engine, which makes quite a bit of power, a very, very reasonable amount of power. Look at this, we've got a huge descent, and I'm not gonna touch anything. So if you take a look, hill descent control just kicked in. I'm just sitting in the seat right now, and it's driving down the hill for you. So that is super cool. And then there's another big descent right here, huge descent, like it disappears into nowhere. And I'm not touching a single thing. There's even a turn in here, and I'm not gonna do anything. You hear ABS kicking in? Look at that. Just absolutely wheeling it, and it managed the brakes all the way down. You could hear it doing it. That is super cool. And that was honestly a pretty quick descent right there, but it was absolutely under control, which is pretty sweet. Now we've got another big rise, adding power. So I know the road opens up here in just a minute, and we're gonna actually add some power and just kind of see what it does here. But this thing is wildly competent. In the wet, it might be a little different because there's a bunch of creek beds in here. I don't know how it would do in, you know, running water, but once you get into some extreme conditions, it's pretty sketchy no matter what you're in, crossing moving water. Here's another big climb. Power's on, steering in quick. Oh yeah, here we go. It just fights for traction and we're there instantly. So here's a huge climb and we're doing this at what is honestly a pretty ridiculous speed, and this thing's just eating it up. This climb just keeps going, keeps going, keeps going. Tell me that's not a good clip off-road. 20 mile an hour on a fire road is moving. So the Santa Cruz looks really good, filthy, first of all, and second of all, with this incredible backdrop we have here of the hills and all the wineries in California. The XRT looks quite a bit more rugged than the stock Santa Cruz because of the new wheels wrapped in 18-inch rubber right there, Continental Terrain Contact ATs. The wrench-inspired wheels make this thing look tough too. I'm a big fan of those, and with the all-terrains wrapped around it, the whole thing looks tough. Especially these bed steps too, make it nice and easy to get in. Then they've got their ruggedized triangle design here on the cladding. It does have the new light design that's shared with the Santa Cruz and the Tucson. These awesome tow hooks in the front in case you ever get stuck. You can pull this thing out. I think it looks really cool. Beautiful quad fog lights as well. Honestly, I think this thing looks right at home off-road where we are today. Now, if you're going rock crawling or trying to just climb over giant boulders or anything like that, the Santa Cruz XRT might not be the vehicle for that. And if you're buying it for that, well, you probably bought the wrong thing. Your expectations going into this should probably be that it's a Santa Cruz, you know, a vehicle designed for families, hauling a few things around that are nice to have a truck bed for, with a really good all-wheel drive system and a pretty good fuel economy. Those should be your expectations going into this, not some hardcore off-roader just because it says extreme rough terrain on it. But this is extreme terrain for any normal vehicle, and this thing's handling it like a champ. Oh, that wind feels amazing. I love the XRT badge. I love the triangle design all the way through. I know that this thing is actually designed to do some towing, so they raised the bumper height up here so you can put a hitch ball right there. So if you're towing with this thing, your trailer will actually be at a much more optimal level. It won't be hanging way down here. So the new bumper, it looks cool. It's actually functional. Let's open up the back and take a look at that. Also, if you need your spare tire, it has a crank down cable system that you open up right there. Of course, these reverse lights look really cool, and cameras all the way around, 360 cameras as you'd expect. Great on the trail. If there's an obstacle you don't know if you're gonna make it over, open the front camera up, open the rear camera up. I think the departure angles are also sharper on this, the approach angle as well. Ooh, we need to hit unlock. Look at these taillights, they look great. I'm a big fan of this. For any general small truck activities, it's kind of ideal. And it looks pretty cool in white, and it looks really cool in their other colors as well. I love that the white looks filthy when you want it to look filthy. All right, electronic release on the tailgate. Dual cup holders right here on the tailgate itself. It has a built-in bed cover that is very nice. To open the bed cover, you just push this forward, give it a throw, and it rolls all the way up into, that's a factory tonneau cover right there. And of course, factory drains, everything like that. So it's gonna work really well. Unlike sometimes when you buy aftermarket ones, it's a little sketchy. Tons of storage back here. So you've got actually sealed storage on both sides with this nice like neoprene seal right there. Nice locks. Oh, you can take it all the way out. Take a look at that. That's pretty cool. So we'll flip that back up. You have bed illumination, which is an absolute requirement for me on both sides. I use it nonstop on my truck. I don't know how you could live without that because it adds so much light, especially once the bed light up there turns on. You can see around your job site when you're working. So honestly, it might seem a little gimmicky, but it's absolutely necessary while you're working. Just with these lights, you can throw a 2x4 back here, have your saw, have the 2x4 hanging off here, cut it, and you'll be able to see just fine in the middle of the night. So absolutely amazing. Tie downs, sliding tie downs in the bed, very nice. And also, if we go right here, electronic release for the under bed storage. Take a look at that. A little bit filthy right now, but a ton of storage right there. You could throw anything that's dirty in here and not have to worry about it in the cab of the truck. So that's cool. There's that electronic release and an emergency release in case a small child gets in there, because no adults are getting stuck in that. Glow in the dark. So let's close up the under bed storage there. Got hit with a face full of dirt. Nothing anybody can do about that though. It's just, it's filthy out here. So to close the tonneau cover, we'll pull that back and close the bed. So with the tailgate closed, it looks like a pretty cool little truck. There are a lot of days when I jump in my F-250 and really wish that I had something smaller with better fuel economy. And the only reason that I don't is because making another payment for a second truck just to get more fuel economy doesn't ever add up. The math never works out. Otherwise, I would love to have something small, hybrid, something with excellent gas mileage, all-wheel drive that can still do a lot of the truck things, but can't go pulling excavators and bobcats like I end up doing a lot. I don't even think this can pull my boat, but it could definitely pull a smaller boat and, you know, reasonable jet skis, a lot of things that you need to get done in life, lawnmowers, any of that stuff that you're hauling around, this will have no problem with it, and it will look good doing it. Let's take a look inside for just a moment here. One of the things that I like is it's got the dual cup holders right here in the center. Also has a slide open rear window like a full-size truck, which is very cool. And then they also threw an extra set of cup holders here in the door. Very nice. I'm not sure you should have piano black in an off-road vehicle, but still, it looks good. Everything's black. Plenty of storage under the seats. You've got the jack under there and then a bunch of storage over there. Dual USB-Cs in the rear. Interesting, the ADAS computer's right under the seat in here. That's kind of cool. It actually makes it look more rugged with that computer hanging out. Some storage right here. This is the upper dash tray. Standard Hyundai glove box, soft open, love that. Here's the center console, nothing in there. It's deep, plenty of storage, but no lights, no USB, no aux, anything like that. Obviously, you've got plenty of USB up here with USB charging plus data or USB charging, USB-C, Qi charging. My phone's on the Qi charger right now. Reasonable cup holders right there. Cup holders in the door. And the passenger seat is manual. Everything else in the Santa Cruz is pretty much what you'd expect. Power seat over here. Power lumbar. On the door, we've got the mirror controls, door locks, windows, which are auto in the front and not auto in the rear. Auto up and down, I should say. Lock for the rear windows right there. Some dash illumination controls, bed light right there, traction off. Tow mode, that's pretty cool. Tow mode on, pops up right there on the dash. Auto lights, no auto wipers, which is interesting, but this sits between the SEL and the limited trims, if I remember right. It comes with a bunch of features that make your life really nice, but it is not absolutely loaded with all the ADAS stuff. I don't think it has highway driving assist, but it does have lane keeping. It does have great cruise control. It's not like there's anything to complain about. It does all of the car and small truck things that you want it to do. Lighted mirrors, not LED though, interesting. And then of course LEDs right beside that for all of the cabin illumination, LEDs in the back, and all of the normal Hyundai infotainment right here, and the normal controls, climate controls. No ventilated seats, but these XRT seats do look cool in black, and they are embossed with the XRT logo right there, debossed with the XRT logo. And that really cool 12-volt outlet. So there you go, that is the 2025 Hyundai Santa Cruz XRT. Honestly, I was way more impressed with this than I ever thought I would be. I've never been in a Santa Cruz before. This is my first Santa Cruz experience. And getting this right out onto the trail and letting the all-wheel drive do its magic was super cool and way beyond my expectations as well. So just getting right in and watching it climb up some loose gravel surfaces and the all-wheel drive just make it all so easy that anybody could do it. That always gives you a lot of confidence, which people that haven't off-roaded a lot and just end up in something like this and maybe get stuck out on a trail, it's probably gonna help you make it home when maybe you wouldn't have if you didn't have all of the driver aids and magical all-wheel drive systems that we have today. So that is pretty cool. That is it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to head on over to shop.watchjrgo.com for cool shirts just like this. And please like, share, subscribe, do whatever you want to do, and I will talk to you next time. We're not in Kansas anymore. This is a whole nother world out here. It's so cool.
Do you think you'll come to the car?
Does he want some Santa beef? Oh, look at that. We got another one over here in the background. This is some epic elevation change. In my F-250, if I did the same thing, it would like, it'll slide down hills this big. Just weighs too much. Here's a cool little switchback right here. Make this incredibly sharp turn onto the fire road again. And now we're descending, I don't know, 100 feet. Like, that is a gigantic hill. It is just pure descent. And if you just let off the gas, this thing will do everything for you. Completely descending down the hill. No problem at all. If you're not used to driving on loose gravel or just loose surfaces in general, I can see how this would be a massive help. Honestly, it'd be fun to drive without it, but also it's fun to let the computers do their thing. It may be even more fun. Good hill descent control takes something that would normally be practiced, something you've done a few times before in your life, and makes it into this simple, magical thing that could really get you out of trouble if you find yourself descending a road like this and you don't have any experience doing it.